The school auditorium was packed with students as a very renowned CEO in his early 30s was invited to share his success journey and to inspire many students. He was standing with a microphone in his hands. He looked at every student, but his eyes caught you, who was sitting on the front row eagerly taking notes. You have asked him a few questions and he was really impressed with you at the very first moment. In business, being creative and not giving up are very important. It's not about how many times you fail, it's about how determined you are to keep trying. Applause erupted in the auditorium. His speech was both inspiring and learning. It was your dream to meet him, and you always wait for the day when your university will invite him as a keynote speaker. The seminar was over and it was one of the best. Everyone started leaving. You stayed behind gathering your notes. Jungkook finished his conversation with a faculty member and he noticed that you were still there. He approached you with a smile. I couldn't help but to notice your engagement during the seminar. Your questions were quite thoughtful. You flinched slightly and turned back only to see John Jungkook standing in front of you while flashing a beautiful smile. You couldn't believe your eyes. You smiled while blushing slightly. Thank you so much. Your talk was incredibly inspiring. I followed your work for a while and hearing you speak in person is amazing. He nodded. I'm glad to hear that. It's always rewarding to know that our experiences and ideas resonate with students like you. Do you have any particular interest in business or innovation? Yes, I'm actually studying entrepreneurship. Your approach to innovation and perseverance has really influenced how I think about my future projects. Jacob was genuinely interested and amazed by the way you take things. He could see his own reflection in you, time when he was as curious as you are right now. There was a strange connection built in no time. That's fantastic. Entrepreneurship can be challenging but incredibly fulfilling. Keep pursuing your passion and stay resilient. Those qualities will serve you well. You smiled, still not believing that you were having face-to-face conversation with the man who always inspires you. It was like a dream which came true. Thank you so much. It means a lot to hear that from you. You're welcome. If you ever have any questions or need advice, don't hesitate to reach out. Good luck with your studies. You smiled and nodded and then watched him walk away. Your heart was racing with this unexpected interaction with him. He approached me by himself. Oh my god, he's wiser than I thought and looked just like a movie star. I'm so happy today. Jumping and dancing in excitement, you walked out of the auditorium feeling more motivated for your upcoming future. Weeks have passed since the seminar and you were buried in your studies at the university library. You were surrounded by stacks of books and notes while your focus intense. As you reached for a books on the top shelf, you accidentally knocked over a stack of papers. Oh no. Need a hand? You looked up startled and your eyes widened when you saw Jungkook standing in front of you, dressed in a casual white shirt and jeans. You could not believe your eyes. Mr. John, what are you doing here? Your cheeks turned red while he smiled softly. Please call me Jungkook. I'm here for a meeting with a professor. It looks like you could use some help. You realize the disaster you have created on the floor. Your cheeks turned pink in a little embarrassment. Oh yes, thank you. I'm just a bit clumsy today. It's okay, we all are clumsy at times. He bent down and helped you in picking up the papers. Your hands brushed against each other and you could feel a strange connection. It's nice to see you again. How have you been since the seminar? Your heart skipped a beat. You were like a nobody in front of such a famous billionaire, yet he remembered you. You flashed a soft smile at him. I have been great. Actually, your advice really helped me focus on my studies. What about you? Busy as always, but I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Do you come here often? You smiled and nodded. I'm here almost every day. It's the best place for studying and getting work done. Jungkook paused for a moment before continuing. Well, if you ever need a break from the grind, maybe we could grab a coffee sometime. I would love to hear more about your entrepreneurial ideas, and if I could help, that would be a pleasure. You were speechless and amazed while your face turned red like a tomato. This feels like a dream, but you will never let this chance go from your hands. I would like that. I'm usually around here, so just let me know. He smiled and nodded. Great, I'll reach out soon. You both smiled and knew that you guys are developing some feelings for each other, which feels so good. Jungkook was sitting in his office. He was lost in his thoughts. These days, there is an unknown feeling developing inside him, and he knew what was happening. He snapped back to reality, shaking his head slightly. He mutters to himself, trying to make sense of his emotions. Why can't I stop thinking about her? He leans back in his chair, lost in thoughts, when the door swings open. Jimin, Jungkook's best friend and CEO of John Enterprises, strides in, a playful grin on his face. Hey, where on earth are you, bro? What's got you so lost? I've been knocking for the past minutes. Jungkook looked at him surprised as he seriously didn't hear him knocking. I didn't hear, I was thinking about something. Jimin took a seat and smiled teasingly. Thinking about whom? Did you finally find someone? Jungkook rolled his eyes and sat straight. Can I ask you why you are here? Jimin leaned back, crossing his legs. Do I need a reason to come to meet a friend? Jungkook looked at him because he knew that he's definitely here because his father might have told Jimin. Well, you know your father's been on my case. He wants me to convince you to start dating. Says you have worked enough and it's time to think about your future. They want to see their grandchildren and I won't say they are wrong. Now you're successful, well settled and everything you need to have a settled life. Why are you not finding a potential girl and settle down? Jungkook's expression turned serious. The weight of his father's expectations was settling over him. He sighed and leaned back in his chair while his eyes drifting back to the window. You know, it wouldn't hurt to take a break from being Mr. Perfect CEO and go on a few dates. Who knows, maybe you'll find someone special. Jungkook remained silent, his mind still occupied with thoughts of you, but he was not sure if it was right. If it is right to even think about you because your age difference was too much to bridge the generational gap. Jimin noticed his lost state. Wait a minute, is there already someone special? Come on Jungkook, give me something. Jungkook looked at him and then tried to ignore this topic. I'm already fed up with this topic being discussed everywhere. Now you don't start, please. Considering your age, you should get a bit serious, but it's okay. By the way, there's a small party tonight. Are you coming? If I get time, I'll see. Jimin rolled his eyes. You're never going to change. So many days passed, you and Jungkook didn't get to meet or hear about each other after your second meeting. Jungkook knew that you are young and might not feel the same as he has started to feel, but he still wanna see, so he came to the library. To his disappointment, you were not there, so he decided to wait. Only he knew how he was trying to hide himself so that someone won't recognize him. He saw his picture on the covers of business magazines. About an hour passed and Jungkook didn't really have that much time as he took some time off work, but now that you didn't show up, he gave up and decided to leave. You were walking briskly down the sidewalk, two heavy bags in your hands. You had just finished tutoring a group of kids, a part-time job you do 3 days a week, and your mother had asked you to pick up some groceries on the way home. Who ask their children to do grocery shopping when they are already working? You muttered to yourself, more amused than annoyed. You shifted the weight of the bags, feeling the strain in your arms. Ouch, my arm. She can't even get me a scooter. Ash, poor people have a lot of struggles, and I'm that poor people. As you walked, a tomato slipped out of one of the bags and tumbled onto the road. Even this tomato doesn't want to go in poor people's home. With a sigh, you set the bags down and chased after it. You barely noticed the car approaching until it screeched to a halt just a few feet away from you. You got so scared and immediately grabbed the tomato before standing up and started apologizing. The door opened, and when your eyes fell on the guy coming out, you were in shock. John Jungkook. He came near you while looking concerned. Are you okay? You shouldn't run into the street like that. You nodded, feeling embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I didn't see your car coming. You look really embarrassed, and Jungkook noticed that you tried to hide the tomato behind you, not wanting him to think that you risked your life for a tomato. He watched you for some seconds. He could feel his heart settling at peace when he finally saw you. You didn't go to the library today? You looked up at him. Actually, I don't go to library today. He got a little confused. Why? I mean, maybe it's your day off. You shook your head. I give tuition to some kids, so that's why I don't go to library 3 days a week. But wait, did you go there to look for me today? His heart skipped a beat. He tried to give an answer but hesitated. I was free, so I thought. You chuckled when he stammered. I'm so sorry that you have to waste your precious time because of me. It's okay, it wasn't your fault. There was a silence for some time. If you're okay with sharing your number, we could exchange numbers so we can talk. I mean, only if you want. Jungkook smiled and gave you his phone. You smiled and typed a number in his phone. Here, now, if you want to meet me, just give me a call. He looked at you surprised. I'm just kidding. This is for, just in case. He chuckled slightly and nodded. He knew he was falling for a girl who is way younger than him, but he couldn't control his feelings. Okay then, I have to go now, or else my mom won't cook dinner if I didn't deliver her groceries to her. He looked at your bags full of groceries. Are you going to carry them by yourself? You looked at him and waved your hand. Don't worry, I'm not doing this first time. Let me help you. No, it's okay. You don't have to waste your precious time because of me. And by the way, it's nice meeting you again. I thought you'll forget about me. Now, who will tell you that the moment he saw you, he couldn't stop thinking about you even for a second? Since I've already wasted my time, let me make it worth it. You're getting in the car. He walked past you and picked up the bags before looking at you. Don't worry, I'm not going to kidnap you. You laughed. Guess what? I won't mind getting kidnapped by the handsome rich CEO who is basically my inspiration. He opened the door for you and you like how he's so polite and a gentleman. There was a comfortable silence in the car before Jungkook decided to break it. Can I ask you something? He looked at him and nodded. Of course. Why did you take me as an inspiration, and since when? You blushed slightly, looking out the window before turning back to him. It started a few years ago. I read an article about you in a business magazine. Your journey, dedication, and the way you turn around your company, it all resonates with me. You were so young, yet so determined and successful. I admired that, and I hope that one day I will be able to achieve that success. Jungkook smiled as he listened to you intently. I never knew someone saw me that way. You are an inspiration to many, Jungkook. I'm sorry I don't know what to call you. You felt embarrassed as you called him by his name in the flow, forgetting that he's older than you. Don't be sorry, you can call me by my name. You blushed. We are here, you said as you arrived at the streets of your house. Here, he said, looking a little confused. There's an alley after this. Your car won't fit, but it's okay. Thank you so much for helping. See you another time if that's possible. You came out of the car and disappeared into the alleyway while making him fall for you even more. Despite the age gap, he knew he couldn't control his feelings.